Now we want to begin in Mombasa County, where the Council of Governors has been holding their forum, and today is day 2. We will be joined by Michael Mwandiga, who is a reporter on standby in Mombasa, to give us an update on this particular story. Good afternoon, Michael. What is the latest from Mombasa County?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Nisi Imano. Of course, you're coming to you live from Mombasa County. This is the day 2 of County Governors Induction Program, and it's a workshop which is taking 3 days. It started yesterday, which was officially opened by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and a lot of issues had been discussed, and we, of course, are waiting deliberations on the way forward on some of the issues. Of course, the government said that, the national government rather said, it is committed to ensure that devolution the government is committed to ensure that devolution takes place as it is supposed to be, or as it is mandated in the Constitution. And as the governors come in, of course, there's some of the issues they need to know on the do's and don'ts and what to do. Their cooperation between them and the national government. And I'm here joined by Sir. He'll tell us his name and what he's in charge of in this great workshop. Karibu sana, Baba, and tell us your names and what is happening. Today is day 2 of this induction program, and maybe looking forward, there's some of the services which the governors have been lamenting rather that they need to be devolved, but they are not yet devolved to the county governments. Please bring us up to speed.
Okay, my name is Kevenji Kirago. I am the chairman of what is called the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, which is established by law in 2012 as required by the Constitution. Our work is to ensure and support the county governments and the national governments to work together, to consult each other, to cooperate with each other, to coordinate with each other, so that they can serve the Kenyan people well. They can do the best that they can do for the Kenyan government, because both levels of government require each other for them to deliver properly to the people of Kenya in terms of especially of the services which have been devolved. And the meeting here is about county governments in the first instance, especially because they are new governors being taught what can go right, what can go wrong in those relationships, and also what they can do better in terms of managing the resources, managing the counties, and delivering service to the people. At the same time, it is an opportunity for everyone, including the governors who have been there before, to exchange what are the challenges, changamoto, between the two levels of government, and even those which they are experiencing in the county governments themselves, for example, between governors and county assemblies, the MCAs. So those are the things which are being discussed at the moment, and people are exchanging knowledge and experience, but also sharing those issues and challenges, so that some of them, they can be heard by the national government to deliver. At the same time, and that was what was underscored by the Deputy President, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua yesterday, is that it is clear that the national government needs to support the county governments to do the things which the Constitution enabled them to do. And that what that requires is that those functions, those things which services which county governments are supposed to render, should not be handled by national government ministries, which has been happening over the last 10 years. And the governors have been complaining about it. The Deputy President, echoing the point made by His Excellency President Ruto in his inauguration, is that this is going to change now. And the governors are going to be facilitated to do the things which the Constitution says they should do. If it is agriculture, there are things which agriculture is a devolved function. And therefore the governors in the counties should be the ones looking to see what needs to be done to help the farmers in that county. But they need to be supported with by the national government. For example, if they don't have specialists in soil, looking at how the soil is, then the national government can come in to give them support in terms of specialists in soil science. And also, research, agriculture research is a national function. It's not a county government. And therefore, the national government needs to support the county governments in terms of knowledge, in terms of technology, in what to do to support agriculture. On the other hand, the national government needs to give the county governments also the money, for example, therefore, to support the farmers with the farm inputs, fertilizers, chemicals, and so on. And they can work together to agree in what ways that needs to happen. That is the nature of the matters being discussed at the moment. This is, of course, is the first meeting. But in this first meeting, in these past consultations with the governors, the idea is also now to build the momentum for the next stage of consultations. Because, these are very complicated. Some of these things sound easy to talk about, but they are a little bit complicated. So more conversations, more consultations is going to be required between the cabinet secretaries and the principal secretaries who come in now, and the governors to agree if it is an agriculture. They need to sit together and say, for us to revive agriculture in this country, for us to have food security in this country, this is what the county governments are going to do. And this is what the national government is going to do. Yes. Not each one doing their own things there, the other one doing their own things there. Then we don't get the result that we want for this country.
And apart from agriculture, maybe what are the other services which need to be devolved so as to ensure that for us to realize to realize devolution, the common mandate is about service delivery. So which are some of these services apart from agriculture?
Well, the Katiba, the Constitution says which are the functions which are to be delivered. In what is conditioned for the Constitution, it is clear which functions should be devolved. Na ilitolewa gazeti na ile ikuitwa Transition Authority. Wakaacha mbili tu, mambo ya museum na mambo ya libraries, na hizo sisi kitengo chetu ambao kina uwezo huo kimeaishafanya gazettement kwamba hizo functions nazo pia ziende katika serikali za mitaa to the county governments. But the big issue is transferring enough resources and building enough capacity in the county governments so that those things they can do. It's one thing to say you have gazetted and to say you have transferred, but also you need to move the resources. And I believe His Excellency President William Ruto meant, yes, we are going to move resources, we are going to move staff, we are going to look at what ministries are keeping, which should go to the counties. There are things, for example, even some of the rural-owned money should probably go to some of the money used by KERA, the Kenya Rural Authority, some of the money used by Kenya Up and Roads Board. Some of those resources probably need to go now to the counties because those are devolved functions. Kwa hivyo kisheria we have gazetted the transfer of function, but haijafanyika kwa sababu the things will continue to happen in the ministry. And as for example, an example given is, there are a lot of things which happen in the Ministry of Health which probably needs to go to if the money was available, should go to the county governments. But it's not just, again, a question of just giving the county governments money. The Constitution demands that also the national government, ukitransfer hiyo function, unaenda huko na unawapatia county governments ability, unawafanyia training, unawafanyia technical support, unawasaidia kufanya systems ili waweze kutekeleza to do their majukumu, to do their functions. That is also necessary.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Of course, he has put it into perspective, what is really needed and what the deliberations which you are expecting to be deliberated here. Of course, we'll be bringing you up to speed, but something to note is that after the 9th August elections, of course, we had 28 new governors and we had 7 female governors. That is from Meru, from Meru, Machakos and Kiambu. So we are several. That is 7 of them are female. That's quite a number in this or in the just concluded 9th August elections. And of course, we had 10 re-elected governors. That shows that really wananchi they're focusing on service delivery. And of course, we had 2-term sitting deputy governors who had of course taken the mantle. That is from Kwale County, where Fatuma Achane, of course, in Uasin Gishu County. So we'll be pitching camp here and of course bringing you up to speed as events unfold on certain deliberations to be made. Back to you, Nisi.